Hi, good afternoon, Mananda. Welcome to today 9th Biology, chapter 3rd, Animal Tissues. Today we are going to discuss about animal tissues. Apart from these animal tissues, already we discussed about that in the previous videos about epithelial tissue and connective tissue. Obviously, the animals have basically 4 different kinds of tissues to perform different kinds of works. So apart from that 4, the first and foremost is epithelial tissue, which can protect and covering the body. Next one is connective tissue, which can connect the internal organs. Apart from this connective tissue, in this regards, we already discussed about that areolar tissue, like how the fibroblast cells which binding over the internal organs and keep them in their specific places. Next one is adipose tissue. It is a fat storing tissue. Bone, it is a hard substance which is made up of calcium carbonate and calcium phosphate. Next one is soft bone. It is also called as cartilage, which is present in trachea, nose tips, ear, external ears and ribs case. So some of the fishes, they are having the, especially the shark fishes, their skeletal system is made up of cartilage. And the bones which are present in our body, which makes us, which gives us a protection to body, I mean that which is gives us the mechanical support and the framework to our body. Coming to the bones, for example, in case of the 2 bones or joints, in that part we are having the ligaments. So ligament is a collagen-like substance which arrange the 2 bones in a joint positions. And how our muscle connect to the bone is called as tendons. So the last one is blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. So till now we discuss about animal tissues. As like plants, animals also has 4 basic types of animal tissues. Those are epithelial tissue, like a dermal tissue in plants. Next, connective tissue, which can connect all the internal organs. Third one is the muscular tissue. Fourth one is the nervous tissue. So apart from this, in this previous videos already we discussed so far epithelial tissue and connective tissue. So apart from this connective tissue, today exclusively we are going to discuss on only the blood. So today our learning objectives like story of blood and blood grouping lab activity. Today our learning objectives in this session, in this video, only about exclusively 2 more points: story of blood and blood grouping with a lab activity. So coming to that blood, actually the blood is a fluid state of connective tissue. Why I am using the fluid? Because of connective tissues are different types. For example, bone, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and areolar tissue, adipose tissue. So many types are there. Those are all in a solid type. But only the blood is a fluid type of connective tissue which connects all the cells, means tissues. Means group tissue means a group of cells which is having a similar structure and a similar function. So actually in our human beings the blood is in a red color stream which flows in the closed vessels like blood vessels. So in human beings the blood is a red color stream which flows in the closed pipes. Those are obviously called as blood vessels. So in this regards we have to observe that the different kinds of blood cells, I mean that mainly 3 kinds. Those are RBC, and the second one is WBC, like granulocytes, basophils, eosinophils, and neutrophils, and lymphocytes and monocytes. Apart from that, the third type is platelets. So the blood flows in the blood vessels in a closed pipes like structures. So coming to that blood, actually in 10th class we have the third chapter, transportation, means transportation of the materials. The transportation is also called as the circulatory system. There we have to learn about the chief components of circulatory system like blood vessels and heart. But in this 9th class session, we are going to learn about the story of blood and why the blood is called as a fluid connective tissue, and what is the importance of identification of blood grouping. So some amazing facts of the story of blood we can discuss now. Actually, our human heart pumps the blood nearly 36,000 of liters per day. Our human heart pumps the blood nearly 36,000 of liters. Actually, a normal adult human being is having about only 5 liters of blood. But how our human heart pumps the 36,000 of liters per day? How it is possible? Because it is pumping by the heart in a circulatory method that we have to understand in the 10th standard. It's clearly. Next, nearly 20,000 kilometers of blood is flowing in a 24 hours. So it is the amazing aspect of our human blood. So our human blood is having some amazing and wonderful aspects. So in this part we are going to amazing one more aspect. Usually the blood is red in color because of the RBC, means red blood cells or erythrocytes. How the erythrocytes or RBCs appears in a red color? Because of the hemoglobin is one of the pigment which gives the red color to the blood. Red color to blood, hemoglobin. Next, well, coming to the other groups of organisms like insects or some of the snails, so they belongs to the different phylums. Coming to the evolutionary pathway of the circulatory system, this also we can learn in the 10th class in a detailed manner. But coming to the evolutionary pathway of circulatory system, some of the insects, especially for example giant legs like cockroaches and grasshoppers, these giant leg organisms are called as arthropods. Arthro means giant, pods means legs. The giant leg organisms like insects under the phylum of arthropods, those animals are having the white color blood. The blood is in a white color, means it is a colorless blood. Why? Because there is no respiratory pigment like hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is absent in the insects like cockroaches, so that there is no responsibility of hemoglobin which is carrying the oxygen. The air directly transported to the entire body that we call as a tracheal respiration in the arthropods. So next coming to the mollusk. Mollusk means snails. So mollusk means soft body. It can be protected by the shell which is made up of calcium carbonate. So it's a general observation. So snails, if you observe the snail's blood, it is in a blue color. So instead of red in color, the snails are having the blue color blood. How it is possible? Because of the copper is the element instead of iron. Hemoglobin, iron is present, ferrous. But instead of iron, here hemocyanin, copper is present. Hemoglobin is present means the blood appears in a red color. Whereas coming to the snails, instead of iron or ferrous, copper element is present, so that the blood is in a blue color. So blood is having the amazing aspects. Blood is having some amazing aspects. So that the chief components of blood is water. The chief component of a blood is water, which is stored in the plasma. Actually, the blood we can differentiate into two major portions. One is the plasma in the bottom level and blood cells. So plasma and blood cells. Plasma in the water, or it is a fluid state of blood which can float in these blood corpuscles like RBC, WBC and platelets. These are the blood corpuscles or blood cells which are floating on the plasma. Plasma is a fluid state of part in the or portion in the blood. Next, actually one of the chemical substance like heparin also contains the plasma, which can help in the blood clotting mechanism that we will explain later. Next, coming to the blood, apart from that major portion like water, besides the water, the blood contains the nutrients like glucose, amino acids, proteins, vitamins, hormones, enzymes, etc. I mean that the solids, liquids and gases substances are transported by this blood. So that blood is the source of identification of wellness or illness. So blood is the state of our index. Usually whenever we are feeling some illness or weakness, when we consult the doctor may prescribe the blood test. Why? Because we can identify the pathogens, especially which are hidden in that blood infection. So either it is a nutrients or like glucose, amino acids, proteins, vitamins, hormones, enzymes, any imbalance or any pathogens or any infected microorganisms are exist in the blood, that should be very useful to identification of the disease. So that the doctors prescribe the blood test. I mean that blood is the source to identify the wellness or illness. It is the one of the best indication or index of our status of our body. So till now we discuss about the story of blood. So blood is having two major portions. One is plasma, the second one is blood cork cells, or shortly we call as blood cells. Those are obviously RBC, blood transportation of gases like oxyhemoglobin, and WBC mainly can be fight against with the germs, and platelets meant for the blood clotting mechanism. So till now we discuss about the story of blood and why the blood is called as a fluid connective tissue and some amazing aspects of blood. Now coming to the actually apart from this transportation of the circulatory system, blood clotting mechanism. Usually the blood flows in the closed blood vessels like closed circulatory system like human beings. If any cuts or wounds happens, immediately the blood starts to flowing. How to stop the blood? How to clot the blood? It is a general mechanism which occurs in our human blood by the help of vitamin K. Vitamins are there. So it is a vital amines. It is the micronutrients which is essential to our body. We can learn in a detail in the 10th class, first chapter, nutrition, micronutrients, vitamins and the mineral salts. Next, coming to the blood clotting mechanism, vitamin K. Apart from some of the enzymes like thrombokinase. Thrombokinase is the enzyme which is help to blood clotting or agglutination or blood coagulation, means clumping of the blood, and it can prevent the blood flow, which can save the life. So it is a very essential mechanism in our body. Usually the blood flows in the blood vessels. It is very essential to transportation of the materials. If any wounds or cuts or happens, immediately it can be stop the blood flowing. That means bleeding. It is a reversible mechanism. So actually heparin is present, and the heparin turns into anti-heparin. So see, vitamin K, and apart from that enzymes like thrombokinase enzyme which helps to prothrombin is already the hidden element which is present in the blood. Prothrombin, it is the inactive state, come into thrombin, it is the active state. So in presence of thrombin, the fibrinogen, it is inactive of fibers, comes into fibers. So these fibers can make clotting the blood cells, and it can stop the bleeding within 3 to 6 minutes. So this is the blood clotting mechanism. It is a part of blood. Actually it is a part of the 10th class, 3rd chapter, transportation circulatory system. Next, in addition to this blood clotting mechanism, we have to discuss about dialysis, means blood purification. by the artificial kidney means dialysis machine, how the blood is filtrated, the impurities in a dialysis machine, and what is the importance of blood pressure. Blood pressure by 120/80 is a normal blood pressure in a healthy person. So all these aspects are related to blood. So the chief components of circulatory system in our body, like blood vessels, heart, these we can detailedly we can discuss in the 10th class third chapter transportation. But according to the 9th class content, we have to discuss about the amazing aspects of blood, story of blood, and coming to the blood grouping. Actually, in this blood grouping, usually in nature we are having two types of relations. One is our parent relations. The second one is in our society. In our society, we are having the blood grouping relations. Blood grouping relations. So we are having two kinds of relationship. So one is a parent relation. The second one is in society the same blood grouping relation. Same blood grouping relation. For example, see next. Actually, at the time of blood transfusion means if suppose all of a sudden any severe accident occurs in presence of our body, in presence of our mind, so we need to donate the blood. But it is very essential, it is a mandatory. Let you know about first which group of your blood belongs. Which group of your blood belongs. It is a mandatory thing. If not, what will happen? We are going to see what is the thing will happen if we have to donate the blood without knowing our blood grouping or the recipient blood grouping. It is so that I mean that the blood transfusion time, the donor which donate the blood, the recipient which can receive the blood, the two persons blood grouping is very essential to sustain our body. If not, simply we can donate the blood or simply we can receive the blood without knowing our blood grouping. The blood can clumping or coagulation which can blockage and it leads to the death. It is a severe damage to our blood while transferring in the blood vessels. So it is a very dangerous situation. So to avoid that situation, it is very important to that every person, every human being having to know their blood grouping. It's a very simple technique. See this. Actually, the type of blood groups names, for example, A, B, AB and O group. So Karl Landsteiner in the 1900, in 1900, he discovered that the first three blood groups, respectively blood group A, blood group B and blood group AB. Later he discovered that O blood group. Next, what is meant by blood group A and what is meant by B, AB and O? How we can identify, on what basis we are going to identify the blood grouping? See this. Antigens on RBC. In our RBC red blood cells, we are having some proteins like antigens. Antigens are the proteins which are present on the surface of the RBC red blood cells. Next, antibodies are present in the plasma. So plasma is a fluid. The blood capsules are floating on the fluid. Yellow color fluid like a structure which is the major components of water. So antibodies are present on the plasma, antigens are present on the RBC. It's very important. But based on the antigens, based on the proteins which are present on the surface of RBC, we are giving the naming. I mean that the type of blood group A means antigens on RBC. A means our blood group is A. Automatically antibodies are present B. Our antigens are A means antibodies are B. So our blood group belongs to A blood group. Next, the second one is our blood group is B. On what basis? Because our antigens on RBC B group. Obviously, the antibodies are A. If we are having both the antigens RBC like A and B, our blood group is AB. Here the thing is there is no antibodies because antigen A, antigen B, so antigen AB. So in 3 cases antigen A, antigen B both are present, so our blood group is AB blood group. We can receive the blood from the A group and B group. Why? Because we are having the both antigens. A antigen is there, B antigen is there. But antibodies are absent. Antibodies are absent. Next, coming to the O blood group. O means here, for example, for better understanding, we can give to that name of zero group. I mean that there is no antigens, zero, nil. So it is called as a O group. But here antibodies are A and B. Here antibodies are there, A and B. A antibodies, B antibodies, and AB, obviously. So the antibodies are present, but antigens are zero. So antigens nothing. So that our blood group is zero. I mean that O blood group. So based on these antigens and antibodies, we are considered that A blood group, B blood group, AB group, and O group. So here we can understand that based on this tabular form, we can understand easily AB blood group persons can receive the blood from any other groups because they are universal recipients. They are universal recipients. Why? Because here see AB blood group persons actually antigen A is there, antigen B is there, antigen AB is there. Here there is no antigens. So they can receive from the A group person, B group person, their own group, AB group person, and O group. Because the O group there is no antigens, there is no problem. But coming to the here O blood group persons can donate the blood to anybody. I mean that these are the universal donors. They can donate the blood to any blood group. I mean that A group person, B group person, AB group person. Because there is no antigens. There is no antigens. So they can donate the blood to A group, B group, AB group. So this is called as a universal donors. Why? Because there doesn't have any antigens. So they can donate to blood A group, B group, AB group. Nothing will happen. So this is the information about the story of blood and blood grouping. Blood grouping. In next video, we are going to learn about identification of blood grouping with the blood grouping kit. In next video, we are going to learn about blood grouping identification with the blood grouping kit. Thank you, children. Thank you.